What is up, guys? Beancrew49 here. We are back on the Desolation map. And it's a wonderful post-apocalypse day in the city of Coveton. The sun is shining, the people are all dead, the monsters, no, they roam in the darkness. So, we got the city to ourselves today, so we're going to use this opportunity to build. That's right, guys, we're in front of the black skyscraper that still has no name. No one came up with a good name for this skyscraper. What happened, guys? I got like one suggestion. No one's got any name for this thing. We're just gonna call it the black skyscraper from now on. The block. Okay, so that's what we're gonna work on today. We are at the top level. We have one more apartment to build before this thing is fully furnished. Oh man, can you believe it? It's like, how many floors is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 floors of just furnishings after furnishings after furnishings. And that's what we're gonna work on today. I'm gonna get as much finished as I possibly can in this short amount of time we have. And being as this is the last apartment, I wanted to do something a little bit special for it. Okay, so first of all, before we get into what's special about it, I have gridded out my floors. As you can see here, I got 5, 6 different things. This is going to be the kitchen. This is going to be a hallway. This is going to be a living room. This is going to be another hallway. This is going to be the bedroom. And this is going to be the bathroom. So I got it all planned out, all laid out. Most likely in today's video, we're probably only going to do the family room, the living room, whatever you want to call it. But I want to give you a sense of why this place is special. Okay, so I was thinking about it. I was thinking, how am I going to make, I've done a bunch of apartments, and I wanted to make this one stand out in some way. And so I was thinking about how I could make it stand out in any way possible. And then I thought to myself, what if these people are hoarders? What if these people are hoarders? For those of you who are not aware what a hoarder is, this is a person who doesn't like to throw things away. No, that's an understatement. This is a person who won't throw anything away. They have this fear. I don't know what it is. I don't know what drives them. Well, actually, I do know what drives them, and I'll get into that in a moment. But they have this, intense desire to hold on to everything they've ever held on to. Okay, they don't want to give it up. And as a result, their homes are just filled with trash, junk. What you and me would call trash, but to them, they need it. Okay? To them, all this trash is absolutely necessary. And, yeah, it's a little unhealthy, living in trash. You know what I mean? It's not good. But, that's what they do. And, that's what I wanted to do for this apartment complex. I'm going to make these guys hoarders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a nice, run-of-the-mill family room or living room or whatever you want to call it, and then I'm just gonna fill it with trash. Okay, that's what we're doing today, guys. We're getting trash to our eyeballs. We're getting trashed. And it's gonna be fun, And I'm gonna do this in addition to the standard apocalypsizing. Of course, this place won't be apocalypsized because the looters, the rioters, and the scavengers, they took one look at this place and they're like, we're not going in there. And hopefully that's the same mentality that people playing the game have. And the reason I say hopefully is because we might just hide something nice up here. You never know, guys. You just never know what we're gonna hide where. You never know, okay? So maybe the hoarders have the key to everything. Who knows? I'm not spilling the beans. I'm just spilling the bean. That's me. That's me, spilling the bean. Anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna build this all nice and gentle, and now we're gonna rough it all up. Now, let's talk about hoarders for a moment. And I don't really know any hoarders. I've been to like a few houses of people who were hoarders, and it's not a pretty place. The place stinks. It's very unhygienic. You're just wading through trash. It's bad. So I've been in a couple, nothing too crazy though, not like the ones you see on TV where it's like trash to the ceiling, which we might do for this. Who knows? Let's make sure we know where we're putting doors here. Not really doors, but arches, so that you can walk around. That'll lead to the thing, and that'll lead to the thing. Okay, there we go, to the 2 hallways. All right, so what should we put here? We'll just put like a table for them to eat dinner, maybe? Yeah, that's what we'll put. So anyway, yeah, so I've been into a few, and one thing is clear. These people have an illness. They've got some sort of disease, okay? And it's a mental disease, clearly. And you know, what would motivate a person to keep trash? What would make a person think they need trash? You know? And it's very easy for us to look at these people and say, wow, they're crazy. But you and me, we're not so different from them. In fact, we're the same as them. They're just taking it to an extreme level. Let me explain. Okay? The reason these people are hoarding stuff, possessions, is because they have an emptiness inside of them. Okay? And what I mean by emptiness is, you know, they look at their lives and they want something more from it. You know what I mean? They feel like there should be more. And this emptiness is, I know exactly what's causing it. I'm not going to say because that's for you to find out. But this emptiness is just eating them from the inside. You know, it just eats at them day in and day out. You know, life isn't exactly what they hoped it to be or want it to be. And so they look for something to fill that hole. And for them, in particular, what fills the hole, the void inside of them, is stuff. Just stuff. The trash that they're keeping in their apartment or their house. And that's what fills their void. They're looking for something from life that's not there, and so they fill it with something else. And, you know, the trash doesn't make them happy, but it fills that void. It makes them think they're happy. And for the few moments that they receive momentary happiness from keeping these possessions, you know, it's worth it to them. And so, you know, they'll always keep those possessions because it's always, you know, giving them a false sense of happiness for a time. But then they got to fill that hole with more stuff, you know what I mean? And so they get more stuff. And then over time, it gets to be to the point where your house is just full of junk. You can't even walk around, okay? So that's what a hoarder... Ooh, that's not going to work. That's what a hoarder is. A person who just is looking for happiness in the wrong place. And the reason I say that we're not so different from them, just that they're taking it to an extreme, is because we're all the same way, guys. We want the latest Jordans, the newest video game, the most fashionable clothing, the newest car. You know, we just want all this stuff. We collect stuff, especially in a place like America. We are programmed to want to collect stuff we don't need. We don't want or need. And it's done through television programming. It's done through, you know, music, through movies. They get us to want stuff that we don't need. And they do a fine job of it, because look at the state of our culture. And I'm not singling out America. This is all around the world. Just look at us, guys, collecting all this stuff. A lot of us will work 40 hours a week doing something we hate doing just so we can accumulate more stuff. Okay? Now, most of us throw it away once it becomes useless to us, okay? That's why we look down on hoarders. It's like, why wouldn't they throw it away and get new stuff, okay? But they just don't want to get rid of their stuff because they feel like it's providing them happiness. Of course, it's not real happiness. It's fake happiness, right? It's momentary relief from the hole that is in their life. So that's why the hoarders are basically the same as us. It's just we throw our stuff away eventually. Or we sell it, or we give it away, or whatever we do. We're always going on to the next thing, you know. That's what we do. That's what everyone does. Because that's the way we're programmed by society. You know, you have no say in this. This is what has happened to you. You know, it started the moment you were born. You had no say in any of it. Okay? Let's just do that. There we go. You had no say in any of it. That's just the way society is set up. And, you know, you might get defensive and say, oh, I'm not like that, you know. But you are. We all are. That's the way we're programmed for the 8th time, okay? Now, the answer to this problem is, there's several answers to it. One of the biggest ways you can deprogram yourself from this way of thinking is to turn off your television, okay? Stop listening to ads. Turn off the radio. Stop being subjected to ads. Same with YouTube. You know, when there's a YouTube ad, it's the same thing. You know, these ads are programming your way of thinking. They're telling you what you need and why you need it and when you need it and how much exactly you're going to have to pay for it, until it gets to the point where you're like, oh, those jeans are $199. That's exactly how much it costs for me to be happy. Right? It's this consumer lifestyle, this consumer mentality that we're brought up with. It's got to stop. So one way is to stop subjecting yourself to ads. Because they're programming you whether you realize it or not. And most of the time you do not realize it. That's why you watch the ads. If you knew you were being programmed by these ads, you probably wouldn't be watching them. But you're so used to them being a part of your life that you just don't even question it. And that's why we're always getting you guys to ask questions. Always ask questions, because you're never going to realize these things if you don't. Unless someone like me comes along and tells you, okay? But otherwise, you're never going to realize this unless you ask questions. So that's the first thing you can do to, break this programming that we're under. And I do use the word programming very literally. It is programming, much like the same way you would program a computer. The computer is a blank slate. You're a blank slate when you're a child, but you got to put in all this input in order to make the computer do what you want it to do, and that's exactly what society does to newborn infants. It puts in the right information to get you to do what you want to do, what they want them to. Wait a second, let's go back. Okay, they put in the right inputs to get you to do what they want you to do, and what they want you to do is work your butt off day in and night out. Okay, they want you to work your butt off so that you will buy these things that you think will make you happy but won't. And who makes the money on that? The people who, make the ads. Okay? So that's one way. The radio ads, TV ads, YouTube ads. Stop watching these movies. I'm not saying stop watching movies altogether, but you guys can tell, right? I've been pretty vocal about which movies are pretty obviously meant to program you and which movies are art. Alright? So there's a big difference between a money-making movie and a piece of art. There's a huge difference. Alright, let's start roughing this place up before we go too far into it. Okay, we're gonna rough this place up, baby. So movies is another one. Radio, definitely. Music. Oh, music is one of the biggest ones. Oh, they're programming you what to... First of all, music these days is nothing but a repetitive hook that goes over and over and over. And the first time you hear it, you're like, what is this nonsense? This is junk. By the 900th time you hear it, yes, you hear it 900 times. By the 900th time, you're like, oh, I like this song. I remember that hook. I remember that catchy beat. I like it. And that's another way that they program you, by repetition. The same thing with ads. They shove it down your throat over and over and over. You see a McDonald's ad every day for 20-something years. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, McDonald's, yeah. Da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? You just start to live with it rather than question why they're feeding us poison. You see what I'm saying? You never question why they're feeding you poison, because that poison has been a part of your childhood, part of your adolescence, and a part of your adulthood. So it's just what you're used to. Is this making sense to you guys? Do you see the ways in which you're being programmed, being manipulated to do the will of a corporation? Do you see this now? Are you starting to get the picture? Oh man, so, people like these hoarders, they can't let go. They have this fake happiness, and it's a fleeting momentary happiness, but they have this void in their life, and, even a momentary fleeting happiness is better than the pain and the sorrow they feel. And it's that hole. Now let me tell you guys, there's ways to fill that hole that doesn't cost a cent. It doesn't cost a single penny, and it will provide real happiness, real lasting happiness for the rest of your life. Yes, I have the key to happiness. I know what it is, and I'm going to share it with you guys because I like you guys. Okay? I like you guys. You guys are smart. You're able to understand this sort of thing, I feel like. You're not the usual, can I play Hunger Games? YouTube community, okay? You guys are smart and creative, and you're ready to break this cycle, I can tell. Just from talking to a lot of you, you're ready to break this cycle of nonsense. And the key to breaking this cycle of nonsense is getting in touch with who you really are. You know, so often, guys, we're looking for outside sources to make us happy. We're always looking outside, to politicians, to parents, to adults, to artists, to musicians, to actors, to all, you name it, and we're looking to them for help on how to entertain us and how to make us happy. We're looking to boyfriends or girlfriends, you know, people, other people to make us happy. The key to happiness is loving every single part of yourself. By looking at yourself and realizing what you are, who you are, really realizing it, really understanding who you are. You gotta turn inward, guys. Inward is the key to happiness. True happiness comes from within, and that's a cliche. You've heard it 1,000 times, but you're not thinking of it in the right way. By understanding that happiness comes from within, why won't this go there? Oh, lag. Happiness comes from within is from understanding exactly who you are, what drives you, what your goals are, what your essence is, right? And you're not going to figure out who you are and what drives you and what your essence is by listening to the radio or watching TV. They're going to tell you what they want you to be, what they want you to be. Okay? So you gotta turn this stuff off. You gotta turn off the radio. You gotta turn off the TV. You gotta put ad block on your YouTube. You know what I mean? Stop watching ads. They're programming you unnecessarily. And start looking inward. Inward. And one way to look inward is through meditation. If you guys don't know about meditation, go online, look up some meditation techniques, some simple techniques, and that will help you get in touch with your inner self, the true you, the you that doesn't want anything to do with programming, the you that wants to be creative, wants to, you know, be a part of this world in a productive, positive way. You know, the TV has been nothing but an endless string of negative programming that you have accepted into your life. You know, we all watch the Super Bowl, and we're willing participants in this programming. We're willing participants. They've programmed us to enjoy the programming. They've programmed us to enjoy the programming, guys. That's part of the programming. Another part of the programming is to make you not think you're being programmed. That's right, I'm going to say that again. Part of the programming is to make you realize that part of the programming is to make you not understand that you're being programmed. That's part of the program. That's why programming works. It's because you don't know you're being programmed. Because if you knew you were being programmed, you would stop it. Okay, you would stop it. I know I'm being programmed. I stopped it, and I'm helping you guys now. So, I don't know how we went from Hoarders to that. Oh, I do know. But what I'm saying here, guys, is a very strong message that I hope you'll listen to. Okay, I hope you'll understand the ways that you're being manipulated. You're being manipulated for the purpose of, oh, you don't want to know, okay? For negative purposes. So I think we're going to leave the video there. How do I get out of this place? I'm lost in my own apartment complex. Okay, how do I get out? I want out! Okay, let's go to the roof. Let's go to the roof. So yeah, I don't know, I got a little bit serious there. This was sort of like a creative question of the week sort of thing, but I wanted to get this off my chest because it's something that weighs heavily on me every day. You know, watching you guys, you know, just lust after things that don't matter. And it's not just physical things, it's mental things too. The key to salvation, the key to everything, guys, is looking within and being happy, loving yourself so much that you don't need outside influences to be happy. That's the key, guys. You have to love you. The way your flaws, your strength, all of it. You have to love yourself so that you don't need outside influences to be happy. And that's the message of today, guys. I hope you guys take that to heart and understand what I'm saying. This is coming from a place of pure love, pure desire to help you become a better version of yourself, to be a happier being on this planet, to not be controlled by anyone other than yourself, to listen to the light within you and follow that and nothing else. That's where this is coming from. So I hope you guys take this to heart. I really, really do. But anyway, that's our video for today. I hope you guys like this. Like it if you did, so we can spread this message to more people. And happy Minecrafting, guys. Peace.